Hi everyone, it's Grace. Welcome back to my channel. In my videos, I provide a lot of up-to-date and multi-sourced information. And in my Facebook page, I also update listings and also their statuses. In today's digital world, consumers have a lot of power and access to information, which is why I strive to be as transparent as possible. In today's video, I will be talking about one of the most important questions that buyers ask when they make a decision, and that is why paying a commission when they can search for the listings online. Buying a home requires a large sum of money, and it is a legitimate question to ask. If you're a first-time home buyer, this video will help you understand the structure of commission and your best strategy to buy a home. If you're an investor, most likely you already purchased a home before and you're probably already familiar with this process. In that case, this video will help you better understand whether the commission that you pay for a realtor is worth it or not. In the traditional home buying process, the seller is usually represented by the listing agent, and the buyer is usually represented by the buyer's agent. It is important to understand that the total commission amount is usually negotiated between the seller and the listing agent, which is usually 6% of the sold price. Depending on the market supply and demand, this percentage may vary. For the purpose of today's discussion, I will use 3% to simplify the explanation. So the total commission amount will be split between the listing agent and the buyer's agent, so each taking 3%. The first logical thing for the buyer to do is to save 3% by directly contacting the listing agent. However, the reality is that the listing agent will take the total 6% and will not give the buyer back the 3%. This is because the listing agent can maximize the profit by doing so. The next logical thing to do for the buyer is to reach out to a for sale by owner, or FSBO, who is not represented by a listing agent and may save a total of 6%. But the reality is that FSBO will usually pay a 3% buyer commission simply to match up the competitiveness of sellers with listing representation. And a reason for that is very simple. Out of all the sellers in a real estate market in the US, only 10% of the sellers are FSBO, according to the 2018 Zillow Research. I will provide a link down below so you can take a look. So FSBO has no competitive advantage compared to the 90% of sellers with representation, unless they pay a buyer commission to attract equal amount of traffic. Now, there's another scenario where the buyer negotiates directly with FSBO to avoid the commission. This may happen, but buying a home has a lot of physical, financial, and legal risks. Since FSBO protects his or her own interest, the buyer is exposed to all these risks, unless the buyer knows inside out about everything of the home purchase. So when a buyer makes a decision of whether to hire an agent or not, monetary cost is not the only measurement. The buyer also needs to consider the opportunity cost of time investment in doing research, gathering resources, mitigating risks, and making all this happen. So the equation that I provide you today to determine whether to pay a buyer commission or not is this: the commission cost of hiring an agent versus the opportunity cost of doing it by yourself. The commission cost is 3% or whatever matches the market. The opportunity cost of sacrificing your own work time to do the home purchase, which can be measured by your hourly salary multiplied by the number of hours that you put in to buy a home. If the opportunity cost is higher than the commission cost, then it makes sense for the buyer to hire an agent to do the work. If the opportunity cost is lower than the commission cost, then the buyer may attempt to do his or her own work. There are a lot of emotional roller coaster and stress when going through the home buying process, and the time sacrificed with family, health, vacation, and others can also be factored into the opportunity cost if you wish. So let's take a look at the agent side of the equation. There are a lot of discussions that realtors don't require a college degree and postgraduate degree to become realtors, and they don't do a lot of work. Yet they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission, so that's not a fair playground. It is true that realtor is one of the low threshold careers out of many other careers. However, the amount of time and money invested into the business is no less than that of a lawyer, a doctor, a musician, a scientist, or any other profession. To qualify for a good realtor or top producer, a realtor has to constantly learn and practice the knowledge in the fields of real estate, architecture, construction, law, home inspection, mortgage, title, insurance, and many other fields, while maintaining good relationships with people. So my final advice is this. If you decide to pay for a commission to hire an agent to buy a home, it is worthy to pay for a realtor that is dedicated, knowledgeable, honest, and action-based. I hope today's video is useful to you in the explanation of the commission structure. In the next video, I will talk about the seller side and the commercial buyers and the commission structure. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.